Hello guys and welcome back to another FPL video. Today I'm going to showcase to you a wildcard draft for Gameweek 31. We already have the fixtures confirmed for the double ups and for the blanks, so we know who is doubling, when he's doubling, and we know that Forest and Brentford are not going to double at all at this moment, and the fixture that is being postponed, it's just moved during the week and it will be played on Thursday 1st of May, so we'll have the possibility to do that in a sense. So moving now into the fixtures, I want to showcase to you a fixture difficulty rating to see how it looks. So we start with Arsenal. They have Everton, Brentford, Ipswich and Crystal Palace. I think that's a very good run of fixtures and I'll be looking to invest into that one. Aston Villa, now with the injury of Morgan Rogers, I don't know should I rely on someone from them, but most probably I will, because they have Southampton, Newcastle, City, and if your player doesn't play you can bench him. Of course that's going to be during the weekend. Now between 31 and 32 there is a UCL fixture. There it will be quite tricky, but we can manage. Bournemouth, now that they lost against Ipswich, I am not going to take any of their players. Brentford, awful run. Brighton, good run. So we are going to talk about several possibilities. Chelsea with a good run. Palace with a bad run, but with 5 fixtures, so it matters. Everton, Fulham, Ipswich, Leicester, all are going to be avoided. Liverpool are with a good run, so we can manage something there. City, double up and not a bad run of fixtures, especially with Wolves and Southampton. United, mixed run of fixtures. City, Newcastle, but then Wolves and Brentford and West Ham avoiding 34 when I'm personally going to free hit, so I'm going to showcase that to you in a sense. Leicester, United, Palace, Villa, Ipswich then for Newcastle, even though they face Ipswich in the blank, I think that we'll manage. Of course, Isaac picked up a small injury and we don't know what's the extent there, but we'll see and we'll decide around that fixture what is going to happen. Then we have Forest facing Villa, Everton, Spurs. Not a bad fixture run for their sense, only one home fixture though, and yeah, Southampton, Spurs, I'm going to avoid. West Ham, if you're free hitting in 33, I would suggest here to pick the Southampton fixture for West Ham, and Wolves with a good fixture, but against Leicester, so it's in 34. So now I'm going to showcase to you a wildcard for bench boost in 33 and how I'm going to prepare it. So I'm cleaning the squad. I will start from the beginning. I'm going to showcase to you how much money I'm going to use, as we'll have a limited budget, of course. Then we move to Mateta, Isaac, and Marmoush. So first of all, we are going to start in the goalkeeper's position as per usual. Raya returns into goal, of course, if you are going to double up in 33 to use the bench boost that most of you probably still have. I'll be looking to target those Ipswich and Crystal Palace's fixtures. I think it's a good one and I think that you can get a hang of it around that fixture. And then we are going to move to another player that is going to have a very, very good fixture, and that is being Areola, cheap and reliable, and a fixture against Southampton. Before that, you can comfortably bench him and you can use him only for the double up. Of course, if you have the budget, you can go for someone like Emi Martinez, who has a double up. I think he's the only other option that I would recommend, but still on a wild card I would not pick two overly expensive keepers because I don't want to use them both at the same time. Moving into defense, Gvardiol returns into the frame. Of course, he was used as a center back against Leicester and he had a pretty solid expected assist ratio considering where he played, and yeah, 6 points, all the better there. Then we will move to another defender that I will pick for sure, and that is Munoz. I'm returning him into the squad. I know that they've conceded and it was against Southampton and they almost lost the game, and now it's Brighton, City, Newcastle, Bournemouth and Arsenal, but this guy can score in a lot of situations. Already 3 goals and 5 assists for the FPL run. I think it's a very, very good ratio, and for the next 3 weeks to have 5 games, I think it's going to be brilliant. Of course, if you are on assistant manager strategy from 32, 33 and 34, I would be avoiding Munoz and I will pick Guasner here. But for now, I think that if you're not on a assistant manager, you are going to be delighted with Munoz. Next up, we move to Livramento. I think that we're returning him because he is a very solid option. I know that they've conceded once against Brentford, but they have Leicester. Now you can utilize him. Then they have a double up, and then you can sell him and get someone in his place if you have some spare transfers. But for the next 3 fixtures, I think that Newcastle defender should be an option for your team. Of course, with the fixture run, I'll be returning Nico Williams, or you can call him Nico, but Nico is from Atletico Bilbao, so yeah, I'll call him Nico Williams. A clean sheet against United. When they play at home, they are just a different breed of a team. Look at those scores. Clean sheets, left, right and center. This week against Villa, you can bench him or you can play him because Villa will have a hard game against PSG. Or you can just pick the Everton game and play him only there. Of course, it would mean that you have to bench someone, which is not ideal. But still, in 33 against Spurs, I would still rely on Nico Williams, and you can use him in a lot of fixtures. And another alternative for him is Konsa. I think that if you're looking to double up in 33, I think Konsa can be a very good pick, even though the fixtures are not very clean sheetable. If you ask me, at the end of the day, Southampton is a fixture where you will probably need to play him, but once again, you have Livra, Gvardio and Munoz. Gvardio is having Crystal Palace in 32. I don't know if you're going to bench him. And 2 doublers, at the end of the day, I think you will be playing them both. And of course, at the end of the road, you have to pick another defender to replace Gabriel for me. So you have several options. You can directly replace him with Saliba, who is the same price for me. And when he was scoring goals here, were the fixtures where Gabriel was missing 14 and 15. If we go to 14 and 15, he was not playing, and Saliba scored in both of those fixtures. Like, literally, the only 2 goals that Saliba scored were when Gabriel was not on the field. I don't know if that's a coincidence, but it's a direct swap for most of you to not worry about the budget. Of course, if you're doubling up in 33 with the bench boost, I'll be looking to get an Arsenal defender. Of course, there is a possibility to go with Timber, but I don't know if Timber, White are going to start in the right back position. Timber, with that clean sheet, got the bonus point, which is ideal for him. But yeah, if you're looking for bench boost in 33, I will be going with someone like Saliba. For me, him scoring when Gabriel is not on the field is a big thing, and the player that I'm going to add at this time for my team is going to be Bukayo Saka. He returned with a bang, scored a goal. Of course, he will be eased into the game, but when he is playing, he will be having, in my eyes, a very good performance. Of course, you can go with Palmer. At the time of recording, Palmer has not yet played his game against Chelsea, but at the end of the day, I would say that I think that Saka, if you're doubling up in 33, I would be picking him immediately, because with so many injuries happening very regularly, I would be willing to get all the players in as soon as possible and not to care about any transfers and only adjust team if needed. So next up, another player. I know that he has not been in ideal form, but for game week 33, when you're going to bench boost, he has Leicester. Before that, he has West Ham. I think good fixtures for the like of Salah. Maybe against Fulham, he's not going to be the ideal player to own, but I am not going to miss any fixtures on the spectrum of West Ham and Leicester in particular. Then we are going to return to doublers, Jacob Murphy and Sarr. Of course, Sarr versus Eze and Murphy versus Gordon is a big question. So you can do the following. You can get here someone like Gordon and be done with it, but we don't know if he will play. He has a knock. So if I'm on a wild card, I will be returning Murphy. And the same can be said about Ismail Sarr and Eze. Sarr was pretty shocking in that game, to be fair. Eze was not better. Like, he has the expected goals of 3.3 and he is below that. The assists, I'm not going to comment, but at the end of the day, it's a game, it's a ball, and yeah, it happens. The forward line, I'm not going to lie to you and say that is going to change. I'm going to pick Mateta, Isaac and Marmoush if I'm on a wild card. I think it's completely worth it, and I think that it will help you massively. Of course, Mateta played only 58 minutes, which hurts, but with time he will get more and more minutes, and he will get the most minutes in those doubles, as here he has a week of a rest, and after that, even though it's 3 away fixtures, they have been playing particularly good away from home. 0-2, 0-2, 0-2, 0-2. They are scoring and keeping clean sheets. Of course, their positions are Leicester, West Ham, United, Fulham, not someone like Aston Villa or Chelsea or Arsenal, etc., etc. But at the end of the day, I think that Mateta, with his 12 goals and 2 assists, will be a very nice catch for your team. Of course, if you're wildcarding, you want to hear the Eddie Howe update. It's for Alexander Isak. He left with a groin injury, and we don't know if he faces Leicester, but I would still be considering him for the double against United and Palace. And you have 7 more attackers and a pretty solid defense to rely on this week, so I would say I will be picking him no matter what. And the final guy here is Marmoush, who has played amazingly well. The expected goals were way higher than what I expected to see here, and he missed some chances. But at the end of the day, he is a very, very solid option when Erling Haaland is not fit, and Haaland is out up until mostly until the end of the season. So now we go and enter the most interesting position, the final midfielder spot that you can go for. Of course, we are going to look at someone with a good fixture in 33, and the best fixture, of course, is from Bowen. If you're not willing to pick Bowen now, you can pick someone like Savinho. Sorry. Who returned 9 points, brilliant return, 3 bonus points with 1 assist. I mean, it was a pretty good showcase. He has 23 points combined against Leicester this season, his favorite position by far. Of course, Savinho will leave you with a lot of money to move around, probably sell someone like Murphy and Livramento in 33. So if I pick Palmer here and I want to sell Murphy and Livramento, it will take me a lot of budget. Murphy will be sold to someone like an Aston Villa attacker, Rashford, Asensio, Rodgers, one of the 3. It will do the job. You can sell Livramento for someone with a good fixture, maybe with a double up like Konsa, but if you are activating now and you have 0 free transfers, I think that you can here opt for several options. I would go for the Savinho one, because Savinho has been a brilliant performer so far this season. When he's playing alrightish, he has some low numbers, then he has some high numbers. So at the end of the day, when they play good, he's playing good, and I expect them to play good. So at the end of the day, I would highly consider picking Savinho. Of course, those are 5 changes from my team: Areola, Saliba, Saka, and Savinho. So 4 changes from my team. If I'm willing to wildcard at this point, I have already used the chip. So yeah, those are 3 transfers and 1 free, 4 transfers, sorry. If I can adjust it, I would look something like that, and if I activate it now. So from my team, it's not a very big difference. Of course, I'm bench boosting, sorry, in 32. So that's why I have some differences. Of course, Gabriel injury was not expected. I will handle it for my team. You'll see when I record my team selection video. After the Chelsea fixture and everything else is said, I'm going to hear from the managers and then record another video. But for now, I think that Vardio, Savinho and Marmoush is the best trio to have from City. Foden was benched. Probably this means next game he's playing, but is he going to be benched 1 week playing 1 bench? I prefer to spend 6.2 and wonder, not 9.2 or something like that. Of course, you can improve here to Gordon. I don't know if I have the money. Me personally, I don't have it. But if you have it, you can go for Gordon and risk it. But having 2 slightly injured Newcastle player, it's not ideal. And here, as mentioned, you can go for Rashford, who finished the week with 8 points. Asensio, who came on as a sub for 25 minutes and scored 1 and assisted 1 and got the 3 bonus. Rodgers, I don't know if he's fit. We haven't heard anything about him yet, so that's a worry for owners. But for now, I think he's in a good situation. So at the end of the day, I like my team, and for 33 you can invest massively for your bench boost. If you're bench boosting in 32, I will replace Areola with someone like Verbruggen. I would be going in 32 and probably picking, if I'm bench boosting, still someone from Villa instead of Savinho, sorry, because they will play here and then they have a double. Who is going to play? We have no idea. Someone from Liverpool might be a target in defensive department as they have West Ham and then Leicester. But you can pick someone like Forest, more midfielders from Forest, more defenders from Forest. That will work for you. For me, the most solid defense this year is Nottingham Forest, especially at home. So you can always risk it with them. I think that that's a pretty good draft. If you enjoyed it and want to share your opinion, please drop it down in the comment section. It means the world to me to hear from you whatever you have to say. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you for being part of the community. If you want to support me, please click that subscribe button. It will help me reach my target of 5k subscribers as soon as possible. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I'll be aiming to do it pretty soon. Once again, thanks so much. Like, subscribe, comment, do all those amazing stuff. I will be coming with a team selection video tomorrow evening and of course a deadline stream on Saturday morning. So thanks so much for watching. Thank you for being a viewer, a subscriber, and yeah, a great person. But for now guys, I'll be heading out. Bye.